Floyd Mayweather looks me in my face and he says, I'm going to take him out about the 8th or 9th round.
This title, Legend versus Legend. So, I mean, that speaks for itself.
What did you think about what he had to say about you when he said you're way better than Floyd Money Mayweather? I know you heard that he said that. What thoughts came to your mind when you heard that Canelo Alvarez said that about you?
Hey, that's a big compliment. He's been in the ring with both of us, so he would know, from his own experience. A lot of people, they can say this, they can say that, but there's only, a few people that can say they've been in the ring with Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather and give their own assumption.
Stephen A. Smith just raised a major red flag about Terence Crawford. And when Stephen A. gets fired up, it's either time to pay close attention or sit back and grab some popcorn.
Was undefeated for the last half of his career with one hand.
Top 5?
No, not in my book. No,
not even top 10?
Maybe top 10 in my book, yeah, but not top 5. He's maybe top 10, but not top.
He's basically warning Terence Crawford not to step into the Mayweather maze, because facing Floyd Mayweather Jr. is a whole different puzzle. That shoulder roll defense is like trying to fight through Wi-Fi lag. You're throwing punches, you think you're on target, but nothing's landing clean.
Crawford is the best fighter on the planet. Pound for pound, he's that dude. In this 4-belt era, he is now the undisputed world champion 3 times over. 140 pounds, 147, now 168 pounds, claiming all the belts.
And honestly, I get it. Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s defense isn't just good, it's a straight-up cheat code, the kind that makes elite fighters look like they're shadowboxing air. But here's the twist. Terence Crawford is fresh off that historic win over Canelo Alvarez, and his stock couldn't be higher. If he risks it all chasing Mayweather, you already know how this goes. The narrative will flip in a heartbeat, faster than a judge locking in a scorecard.
Said he's way better than Mayweather. What do you think to that?
Who, Terence?
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Of course he is.
Canelo saying that Crawford's a better fighter than Mayweather. Do you agree with that?
No, I don't, but I think Crawford's a...
One rough night against the defensive master, Floyd Mayweather Jr., and suddenly the headlines scream that Terence Crawford was exposed. That's the wild part about legacy in boxing, it's fragile. One moment you're untouchable, the next you're under a microscope. So while Stephen A. Smith is waving the caution flag, I'm sitting here thinking if Bud really takes this fight, it won't just be punches we're watching. It'll be history on the line, where one slip could turn greatness into gossip.
Mayweather looks me in my face and he says, I'm going to take him out about the 8th or 9th round. He says, I'm going to walk right into him and stay at his chest. He's going to have to push me off in order to throw his punches. He said he's going to be circling the ring. He said by around 4 or 5, he's not going to have any legs. He's going to be done. And he said, and I'll just toy with him and keep him around until around the 8th or the 9th.
All right. So Stephen A. Smith waves the caution flag about Terence Crawford stepping in with Floyd Mayweather Jr. But now here comes Roy Jones Jr. throwing gasoline on the fire, flat out saying Mayweather isn't even top 5 all time, maybe not even top 10 in his book. And when a legend like Roy says something like that, you and I can't just scroll past it like it's background noise.
Top 5?
No, not in my book. No,
not even top 10?
Maybe top 10 in my book, yeah, but not top 5. Yeah. He's maybe top 10, but not top 5. Floyd can fight, don't get it wrong. Floyd can fight. But here's what my problem is. Well, I understand, I know you're a Floyd fan, but here's my problem. Who did Floyd fight?
Because if Floyd Mayweather Jr. isn't top 5 all time, then what does that really mean for Terence Crawford chasing him? It's like buying the limited edition sneakers only to find out they're just the regular pair with extra shoelaces. But here's the wild part. You've got to admit Roy Jones Jr. might have a point. Floyd built his entire empire on defense and timing, mastering the art of controlling distance, dictating pace, and making elite fighters miss by inches.
Like I said, I'm just saying Floyd never fought nobody that was of his equal. He didn't fight a James Toney. He didn't go looking for a James Toney. He fought Shane Mosley at 38 years old, and it still was a good fight while he left. Shane almost took him out at 38. He fought Oscar De La Hoya at an old age, and we still ain't sure. If you go look at the fight, I'm still ain't sure who won that fight.
That was a close fight. Close fight.
But this is an old Oscar De La Hoya. But it's not. Wait. This is an old Oscar De La Hoya.
Yet Roy Jones Jr. argues that Floyd Mayweather Jr. carefully chose his dance partners, while Terence Crawford has been out here dismantling pound-for-pound kings like it's just another casual Friday. If Bud ever fought Floyd, it wouldn't just be a clash of styles, it would be a collision of eras. Floyd's safety-first chess match versus Bud's I'll figure you out, break you down, and still have energy left to sip Gatorade mentality.
His whole career, people like Erislandy Lara gave you the blueprint on how to beat him. People like Floyd Mayweather also gave you the blueprint on how to beat him. But Bud is more fierce, more fearsome, and more angrier, and more meaner than both of those guys. So you know if they showed you the blueprint, Bud gonna go out there, take that blueprint, and do even more with it, which is what Bud.
And let's be real, if Terence Crawford dismantled Canelo Alvarez and then somehow cracked the Floyd Mayweather Jr. puzzle, we wouldn't just be debating top 5 anymore. We'd be asking whether Bud just leapfrogged the entire sport. Because while Floyd rolls his shoulder to protect a legacy, Crawford would be rolling the dice for history.
Defensive and more accurate. Crawford's more, he got that dog in him, and he believes in himself. Both of them got that mindset, so they're both great fighters. I don't like to say who.
All right, so we just heard Roy Jones Jr. tossing grenades at Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s legacy. Now Robert Garcia jumps in with the Crawford versus Floyd reality check, and this is where it gets spicy. You and I can debate prime for prime all day, but Garcia's point hits different. Mayweather never went undisputed, while Terence Crawford has been out here collecting belts and cleaning out divisions like it's spring cleaning season.
In a fight, I'd probably still pick Mayweather. Both in the prime, I would probably pick Mayweather to win. Just like I would probably pick Pacquiao to win, both in the prime.
Oh, to beat Crawford.
Yeah, I think so.
Prime for prime? Nice.
Yeah. But is Crawford one of the greatest of all time? 100%. Definitely.
That's not some minor footnote. That's history written in bold. And yeah, Robert Garcia admits Floyd Mayweather Jr. had a skill set that felt like it came from another planet. But what he's really pointing at is this. Terence Crawford's resume already includes achievements Floyd never touched. Let that sink in for a second. You can roll your shoulder all night long, but when the man across from you has 3 undisputed crowns sitting on his shelf, you better hope that defense comes with insurance.
Mayweather never became undisputed. He's a 5-division champion, but never became undisputed. Never really followed that unification, stuff like that. So
to me, this isn't just fight talk, it's perfection versus accomplishment. On one side you've got Floyd Mayweather Jr., the undefeated technician, the master of distance and defense. On the other, Terence Crawford, stacking names, stacking belts, stacking eras. And the wildest part. If Bud keeps building that resume, we might wake up one day realizing Mayweather's shadow isn't quite as tall as we once thought. But just when that narrative starts gaining steam, you flip the channel and here comes Joe Rogan calling Floyd the greatest boxer to ever live. That's how fast the conversation shifts. 1 minute Mayweather's legacy is under review, the next he's being crowned untouchable again. And that right there is what makes this debate electric.
I think when it comes to accomplishments, I think he's already done more.
And you know what? That's classic boxing barbershop energy. Half the room saying Floyd Mayweather Jr. carefully handpicked his opponents. The other half swearing he's a once-in-a-generation genius who solved the sport like a math equation, but then Joe Rogan takes it a step further. He starts talking about Floyd having so much control that he could practically fire referees mid-fight, like he's the CEO of Boxing HR. Imagine clocking in as the ref, thinking it's just another title bout, and by round 3 you're polishing up your resume because Floyd didn't like your call. That's not just influence, that's next-level power.
Had some of the best counterpunchers in the history of the sport. He was so good at staying in the pocket. So he was an elusive guy. Yeah,
or
insane.
there's he slipping.
Pattern
right?
recognition. He's one of the most elusive fighters of all time. He stood right in front of you and you couldn't fucking hit him. That's true mastery of space and true mastery of.
You hear the stories about Floyd Mayweather Jr. leaving the club at 2 a.m. and still going for a run down the Vegas Strip, and it almost sounds unreal. Most of us, if we're out that late, are running to the nearest kebab shop, not logging 6 miles under neon lights. That's the difference. Floyd stayed undefeated in the ring while the rest of us stay undefeated at Uber Eats. But here's the twist. Terence Crawford is the kind of fighter who'd hear those discipline stories and just say, cool. Now let me test that shoulder roll with some southpaw dynamite. Because if anyone has the ring IQ, grit, and killer instinct to challenge Joe Rogan's best ever claim, it's Bud. And if he ever cracked that Mayweather puzzle, we wouldn't just be debating the GOAT, we'd be rewriting the whole boxing Bible.
And it caught him on the side of the head, and the referee claimed that it was behind the head. So Floyd fired the referee in the middle of the...
And that's where it really gets spicy. Terence Crawford versus Floyd Mayweather Jr., same ring, same night, both in their prime, and you've basically got chess at gunpoint. Floyd would be slipping and sliding, making you miss by inches, turning defense into an art form. But Crawford wouldn't be out there swinging reckless like some of Floyd's past opponents. Bud fights with patience, sharp timing, and that cold-blooded ability to adjust in the middle of a round. Mayweather's defense is like trying to punch smoke, but Crawford's offense is the kind of smoke that punches back.
With everybody else, be drinking water, everybody's partying, having a good time. Floyd would leave the nightclub at 2 a.m., have his bodyguards drive the car, and he would run in front of the car for hours. Run home, 2 o'clock in the morning, run 5-6 miles, and did it all the time. Just always did. It was always...
We're talking counters to counters, IQ versus IQ, the kind of fight where one small mistake could decide everything. It's the fantasy matchup that makes everyone lean forward because deep down, you and I both know Terence Crawford might be the one fighter who could make Floyd Mayweather Jr. sweat in his own game of perfection. And just when Joe Rogan crowned Floyd the greatest ever, here came Oscar de la Hoya stepping in to say Mayweather is levels above Crawford. Sure, maybe Oscar still remembers that shoulder roll all too well, but you can't dismiss Bud like he's just another sparring partner. This is a fighter who solves opponents mid-round, making adjustments on the fly like he's speed running a video game.
Slow-mo, like where he would slip punches by like centimeters. And they may think that like his depth perception and the depth perception of successful fighters must just be exquisite. Because, I mean, like slipping at that distance with just a chin movement.
That's one thing, but it's also pattern recognition. You've been doing it so many times and you...
Floyd Mayweather Jr. toyed with Canelo Alvarez. That's true, but Terence Crawford dismantled him in a way that had all of us grabbing the popcorn twice. And you and I both know this isn't just about who's slicker. It's about who finds that extra gear when the chess match suddenly turns into a street fight. If we're keeping it real, Crawford versus Mayweather isn't just a debate, it's a boxing fan's ultimate what-if fever dream, the kind of fight that would crash Twitter and keep the group chat buzzing until 4 a.m. Picture it. Floyd in there reading Bud's moves like a grandmaster, shoulder rolling and slipping punches by millimeters. But then there's Crawford, not just playing chess, but flipping the board over and calmly saying, checkmate.
Oh, he didn't get hit at all, not one time. And Crawford, yeah, he's more of a fighter, boxer. Mayweather's more of a boxer. Or that I stepped in the ring with Mayweather, but I really feel that technically, Mayweather...
You, me, all of us watching, know Terence Crawford is that rare fighter who can adjust 3 times in a single round, the kind of problem that could even make Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s calculator brain glitch. One small mistake, one adjustment a second too late, and Crawford is timing that counter like a heat-seeking missile. Prime for prime, that's not just a fight, it's a history bender, the kind of matchup that makes us stop asking who ruled their era and start asking who's the best we've ever seen. Then after Oscar de la Hoya gives his Floyd is above Crawford speech, Jeff Mayweather steps in like the family spokesperson saying, hold up, let's not rewrite history, and he's got a point. Floyd at 36 wasn't washed, he was still slicker than an oil spill in the rain. But if Canelo Alvarez was supposedly too green when Floyd schooled him, then what does it mean that Crawford handled a seasoned, granite-chinned version? That's the spicy part people don't always want to admit.
Boxer. But I have to disagree. I think Mayweather is much more superior than Crawford. Not just because he beat me and it was a close fight, whatever, you know. I have to disagree because Floyd Mayweather toyed with Canelo. Like he literally toyed.
So Floyd Mayweather Jr. schooled the rookie, and Terence Crawford cooked the champion. And you, me, and every boxing fan alive knows those are 2 very different meals on the menu. You can argue Floyd's prime wasn't in his 20s, but if that's the logic, then Crawford being dominant at 36 should be brushed aside too, except it isn't, because he's out here breaking eras in half. When Jeff Mayweather says Floyd was at the top of his game, that's fair. But here's the wild twist. Bud might be peaking right now. Prime for prime, this wouldn't be teacher versus student, it would be chess master versus hitman. Floyd slipping and countering, Bud adjusting and detonating. And that's why the debate never dies, because deep down we all want to know if the Mayweather blueprint could survive Crawford's demolition playbook.
Canelo, what, 20-something? 20 what? 23? 25?
Yeah, very, very young in the game, obviously.
Very young. He had more fights than Floyd, and he lost.
Yeah,
but a man that was 30-something years old, 36.
But Floyd was clearly at the top of his career, and Canelo had fought a lot of people.
How you at the top of your career in your prime? You in your prime? You ain't in your prime.
Drop your thoughts in the comments. Who you got, Terence Crawford or Floyd Mayweather Jr.? And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Boxing Headquarters. We're just getting started. Catch you in the next one.